10 tips to crush it in real estate that every single new agent should watch. Ten tips that is going to help you crush real estate. I don't care if you've been in real estate for 1 year or 10 years, this is a must watch. 10 things that are going to help you absolutely annihilate your business. Number one, what I want you to think about is that most agents are top producers by default. They're top producers because they've been top producers for a long time, right? So what I want you to start thinking about is think about yourself like a marketer. Think about your business through a different lens. I want you to start thinking about your business like a marketer and not just a real estate agent. I don't want you to be thinking the way every other agent does. And in fact, most cases, what's happening with agents, whether you're a new agent or an experienced agent, is you're being told to do things like open houses and cold call and door knock and just work your sphere. But here's the deal. You're being told that by people who do not know the right way to actually generate leads, okay? To generate clients and customers. Yes, those things do work, but let's face it, you got into real estate because you wanted to have more financial freedom and time. Just to find yourself working every single weekend and every single night. Like, I remember getting into the business and literally being so consumed by it that every single vacation I went on, I was on the phone the entire time. I would sneak into the lobby downstairs and be on the phone. Has that ever happened to you? It's the worst. Or how many times has your spouse or your husband or wife or your kids told you, hey, you're not paying attention to me. Are you there? Listen to me. I'm asking you a question. You're not paying attention, Mom. You're not paying attention, honey. I remember my husband almost threw my phone in the Delta one time. We were on the boat. I was working the entire time. He literally picked my phone up and he's like,
I'm throwing it in the Delta.
And I was like, no, right? Because they're frustrated because we're not really present. And the reason we got into real estate was because we wanted to have more time. We wanted to have more freedom. We wanted to have more financial, less stress, just to find the opposite. So what I want you to think about is think about yourself not as a top producer, but think about yourself as a master marketer. If you market properly to people, and I want you to think about this, marketing is attraction, okay? If you can market appropriately, people are raising their hand and they're saying, hey, I'd like to work with you. And once you can start to change that identity shift from being an agent to being a master marketer, what's gonna happen is you're gonna start to see your business transforming. You're not gonna have to work every single weekend and every single night because you're gonna start attracting business because people are actually know who you are. When you call people, they're gonna be like, are you the real agent? Because when you market to people appropriately and you offer value, then all of a sudden everything changes in your business. I want you to think about something. How many times do you go to a new area or you see a billboard, you open up the paper, or whatever it might be, and you see 15 people saying that they're the #1 agent in the area? And guess what? Nobody cares. You know what people care about? They care about how you can help them, how you can solve their problems, how you can offer more value, and how you can stop doing things just like everyone else. Let's face it, we are a commodity as real estate agents. It's the easiest profession to get into, although we can make more money in real estate than most doctors, attorneys, or lawyers. In my best year in real estate, I think I did around $1.8 million. This year, during a worldwide pandemic, we did over $54 million in selling of real estate, right? That's a lot. I mean, imagine the commissions on that. And the cool thing is, I never had to talk to one buyer or one seller because my marketing, my strategies, my systems do it for me. And it can be that way for you too. So don't listen to the lies that you have to do things like open houses and cold calling and door knocking and just working your sphere. That is the old school approach to selling real estate. Also, don't listen to the lie that now you really have to start marketing online. You should have been marketing yourself online forever. So think of yourself as a marketer. Marketing is attraction, okay? If you market appropriately, you will stop chasing business and business will become easier for you. Also, conversions are going to be much easier for you because you've developed a relationship with your community because your marketing is correct. Number 2, get really clear on who you want to work with. We call this a client avatar. Now, this is similar to niching, okay? Many people are so afraid that if they niche or they just work with one specific client that they're gonna lose business. I'll give you a really good example of this. There's an agent in my area, her name is Lori Abreu. Lori Abreu really specializes in rural properties and doing ranches and properties with horse properties or like large farm areas. I will tell you, Lori is one of the top producing agents in our area. And Anytime you see a horse property or rural property, 9 times out of 10, Lori's name is on that property. Now, it doesn't mean that she doesn't still sell regular property. She still sells regular types of homes. It just means that when people are specifically thinking about real estate, that Lori typically wins. So I really want you to get super, super clear on who your ideal client avatar is and really get to know them. Who are they? How old are they? What are their interests? What do they like? What do they like to do? Where do they hang out? Where do they shop? So when you focus on exactly who your client avatar is, then you're going to be able to take your content and you're going to be able to create information that speaks directly to somebody, right? Research shows that the more your content speaks directly to somebody, the more likely they will convert. And what's happening is while you're speaking to these clients and you're giving them information, you're giving them value, you're solving their problems, answering their pain points, really making their life better, moving them away from pain and closer towards pleasure, what's happening is you are positioning yourself as the expert. They are developing what's called a parasocial one-sided relationship with you. You're starting to break down their barriers, they're positioning you as the expert, and here's the thing, you can do this as a brand new agent that's never sold a house before, right? And you might be thinking, well, Krista, I don't know what their pain points are. I'm new. Well, guess what? All you have to do is go interview your broker, ask your broker questions, interview that top producing agent, interview agents that are doing business and talk to them about, like, who do you typically work with? What problems do they have? What issues come up? What are their most common questions? And you start creating content around that. Also, by knowing who your client avatar is, you're going to be able to segment your audiences that are super targeted, right? You're going to be able to utilize your client avatar's wishes, dreams, problems, things they like to do, and you're going to be able to create audiences on social media platforms where you directly target people based upon their interests, their likes, their dislikes, their problems, etc. Does that make sense? So now your marketing dollar is actually going to go further. Think about this, why this is important. If I was to say right now, let's just say I do a market update and I say, it's a great time to sell your house because inventory is low. Well, what if I'm a seller and I know it's a great time to sell, but I want to sell, but I'm not putting my house on the market because I'm afraid that if I put my house on the market, I'm going to be homeless and have nowhere to live, okay? So now when I say it's a great time to sell, inventory's low, you are tuning me out because I'm not telling you that you actually have the ability to sell. So what if I do this? Are you thinking of selling your house, but you're afraid that if you sell your house, you're going to be homeless because right now there is a limited inventory? Well, guess what? I totally understand. We have the solution for you. Now all of a sudden that seller that was tuning me out because he knows it's a good time to sell. He knows there's multiple offers and bidding wars, but he's afraid that if he sells, he's going to be homeless. Now all of a sudden I have his attention, okay? That is so, so different because now I know who my client avatar is. I know what they're worried about. I know what their concerns are, so I can speak directly to that in my marketing messaging. And now they're actually paying attention. Now I'm more likely to convert. And now I'm solving their problems, answering their questions, providing value, positioning myself as the expert, breaking down their barriers, showing that I'm the authority. Now all of a sudden, boom, I'm grabbing their attention. Okay, so here's what I want you to do for your client avatar. I want you to write down every single thing about them. Your perfect ideal client avatar. What age are they? Are they married or are they single? Do they have children? What kind of specific life events are they specifically going through? What are their goals? What are their aspirations, right? What profession are they in? Who do they hang out with? What do they like to do? What do they like to eat? Who do they follow? What social media groups do they like to hang out in? I can go on and on about all the different things that you should be thinking about when thinking about your client ideal avatar. So when you do this, now all of a sudden you're going to be able to curtail your content to speak directly to them. Think about what types of neighborhoods do they like to be in? Do they want to be around properties, areas that have schools or not? What hobbies do they like to do? Where do they like to go? I can just go on and on about all the different types of things that you want to be able to address and know about your client avatar. So that's your homework right now. So get out a pen and pencil, pause this video and answer all those questions. Number 3, I want you to become the community expert regarding your client avatar, okay? So think about, now that you know who your client avatar is, what places in the community would they like to go? What things would they like to do? What hobbies and interests are them? And I want you to start creating content regarding your specific client avatar and their likes, wants, needs, and interests locally. Become the community go-to authority, the community trusted advisor that your client avatar is looking to for advice and value on what they should be doing in their community. So you're gonna create videos, you're gonna create lead magnets, you're gonna create event calendars, you're gonna provide so much value around the things that your client avatar wants to do, likes to do, or needs, and around their interests and their wants and all that, and then bammo, what happens? You then become the go-to trusted advisor that they look to. I also want you to take this video content and make sure that you do what I call video repurposing. Take it, make sure you place it on YouTube, place it on your website. Why is this important? Because when people go to do searches, now all of a sudden, because Google owns YouTube, right? And your website is aligned with Google. Now you start showing up under searches and you get higher placements on Google because you're getting search engine optimization because you are creating video content. And where do people go when they're looking for information? They go online. Your job is to show up where people are searching, when they're searching, and way before they're ready to make that decision, when they're actually in the education and research phase. That way, when they're ready to make a decision, you're already top of mind. Great. Now, number 4, I want you to educate your community about the real estate process, okay? That's number 4. So we live in an informational age. People are constantly Googling, what do you do when you want to go buy pizza and you're in a city that you don't know, or you want to go out to a nice restaurant? What do? You go online, okay? Real estate and buying a home is one of the most important decisions that somebody will make. It's probably one of the most largest investments they'll ever purchase or they'll ever sell. So it's a really, really big deal to them. So I want you to start creating content around the real estate transactional process. Think about what kind of questions people are going to ask. What are the biggest mistakes that you've seen happen? What are the best things that people need to do around the entire real estate process? Also, I want you to start creating market updates. What's happening locally in your area? Is it a seller's market? Is it a buyer's market? How does that affect a seller? How does that affect a buyer? What's happening nationally? How does that affect a buyer? How does that affect a seller? What are the forecasts that's happening in the real estate market? What's being forecasted or predicted? What is happening that in your area that people absolutely are upset about or they're excited about? You want to be the go-to trusted resource anytime anybody thinks anything real estate related or anytime anybody thinks about your community. I also want you to think about what questions people are Googling. Like, what questions are they putting into the search bar on Google? What questions are they putting into the search bar on in YouTube? What are they doing research on? Again, the more that you understand who your client avatar is, what their concerns are, what they're going through, the more likely you're going to be able to do this. A great resource is called answerthepublic.com. You can go there and you can type in a question. It's going to give you hundreds of questions. They're the most common questions that are around that subject matter. So go ahead and try that. That'll give you enough content for you to use for a year. Number 5, give value. Let me ask you a question. Do you like being sold? No one likes being sold, right? So the more that you give value, the more likely you will actually sell, right? Serve, not sell. We have the serve, not sell mentality. Before you try to sell somebody or ask them for something, I want you to educate them, give them value, help them, make their life easier, move them closer to things they want, and answer their questions. Become that go-to trusted advisor. So many marketers make a really big mistake. Remember, my goal is for you to be a marketer, not just a top producer. If you become a marketer, you will then inadvertently, hopefully become a top producer because you're marketing and you're attracting business, okay? So I want you to think about yourself that way. And that way, if you give value, add, you serve, not sell, they're going to be much more likely to give you the contact information when you ask for it. What do most marketers do? They put out lead magnets and they say, hey, download, give me your information, I'll give you this list. No. If you create valuable content and you help people and you offer value, you give them what they're looking for, they are going to be much more likely to want to give you their contact information because you served them first. You did not just sell, okay? Do things differently than everyone else. Add value first. Give them as much information as possible because they are researching, just like when you go to buy pizza, or just like when you want to find a restaurant online. If they're going to be buying a house or selling a home, I can guarantee that they are researching far before. In fact, the National Association of Realtors shows that buyers on average spend 3 to 6 months thinking about buying, researching before they actually pull the trigger. Your goal as a marketer is not to show up when they're thinking. Your job as a marketer, as a real estate agent, is to show up way before that. I want you to offer value in your videos. Give free PDFs, free resources, give seller guides, buyer guides, best things to do in the area, things to consider when selling, things to consider when buying. Utilize these resources based upon the problems, the concerns, the issues, the questions, and where they're at. in their life cycle for you as a client. Number 6, I want you to build valuable relationships with other people in your community. Now, think about in the real estate industry, how many different people are they dealing with along in the real estate journey, right? They need a mortgage officer. They use title officers, escrow officers, home repair, credit repair, financial advisors, financial attorneys, real estate attorneys. I can go on and on about the different types of professionals that are involved in the real estate transaction or that can be of benefit and of service to people that are thinking about buying or selling. The more that you can align yourself and partner with these people, the more that you can be exposed to their audience and you can add value to their audience, and the more they can also be exposed to your audience. So it's a win-win information. You can start together by adding valuable content, creating resources, creating guides. For example, I'll tell you that we have aligned ourselves with divorce attorneys, with probate attorneys, right? We've aligned ourselves with financial advisors, and we give this information to to our customers and our clients, because then they can make sure that they're fully supported. So think about, who can you build partnerships with? Also, is there something in your area, like maybe a really great restaurant, or is there a social media following or page that or group that people absolutely love and they have a large audience? The more that you can add value in that audience, the more you can help people within those Facebook groups, within those partnerships, and the more you can expose yourself to their list, the more likely that they're going to be able to see you as the go-to trusted resource and advisor, and the more likely they're also going to refer you. Again, this is a serve, not sell mentality. Offer as much value as possible in these partnerships to their people so that they'll be more likely to want to refer you, and they'll be more likely to actually want to continue to let you come on their, come on their Facebook groups, or, be exposed to their audience, or do some kind of collaboration together. Number 7, start treating your real estate business like a business, right? I mean, how easy is it to get into real estate? It's one of the easiest things that you can ever get into. It's very, very simple to get into real estate. In fact, it usually takes around 25 hours, 30 hours to get into real estate, but you can make more money in real estate than most other professionals, doctors, attorneys, lawyers, okay? And they go to school for years and years. So I want you to start treating your business like a business. Start investing in yourself. Be an entrepreneur, right? Treat your business like you're a business owner. Invest in education, in courses. How can you learn to cutting edge techniques and show that you are not just a minion? Everyone knows a real estate agent. There's so many of us, right? Everyone's brother, sisters, mother's father is a real estate agent. And so that's why you need to show up differently. You need to be if everyone's doing X, I want you to do A, okay? If everyone else is, advertising in the local newspaper, I don't want you to advertise in the local newspaper. I want you to start marketing yourself online. I know of somebody who spent $350,000 on a coffee cart, a portable coffee cart, okay? Just to sell a cup of coffee for, let's just say at the most, $7, okay? And they invested $350,000 as a real estate agent. If you want to succeed, you have to be willing to invest. You have to be willing to invest on your education, on your growth, on marketing yourself. You have to be willing to invest in your properties and marketing your properties. And understand something, when you market your properties, you're also marketing yourself. You are always on a job interview, and anything and everything that you have your name on, whether it is a video or a sign or a business card or a flyer or whatever it might be, it is a representation of you and how you do business. So I want you to think like that. Think like everything I do is a representation of how I do business, right? I'm perceiving to the world that this is what they can expect from me. So invest in your business. I want you to invest money, yes, money, on a marketing budget to get yourself seen in front of people. How do you do that? You do that through running Facebook campaigns through the Ads Manager account, or from running campaigns on Google. Make sure that you are investing in that. Also, I want you to invest time in your business. Be intentional about your schedule. Be intentional about what it is that you're doing, right? Invest in actually treating your business like a business and taking it serious. Show up every day. Learn the market. Know what's on the MLS. Understand what's happening, how quickly things are selling, how many offers there are, what's the market climate look like. Invest time and energy in understanding why one neighborhood might be selling for more or less than another, how different styles of homes and types of homes based upon condition or location in certain neighborhoods, how they may or may not sell for more or less. All of these things are opportunities for you to position yourself as the authority and to show up differently than everybody else. Also, invest in resources that's going to help you be on the cutting edge of what's happening in the real estate market. What is expected? What is forecasted? What are the trends? What's happening? Invest in your education and your knowledge to be on top of these things and be a reporter. Talk about it. Create content, create PDFs, create videos, create lead magnets, create valuable resources that are going to help people. Number 8, don't be a minion. Don't do what everyone else is doing. I want you to be different, right? Why is it that every real estate agent's doing the exact same thing? Invest in solar signs so that they light up at night. Invest in doing Facebook ads. Invest in creating awesome, memorable, funny, fun, educational content that's got some or maybe no graphics on it, okay? Take that video content and run Facebook ads or run YouTube ads. Invest in yourself and do things that other people are not doing. I want you to take this so serious. Look around other professions. What are they doing, right? That's what I did when the market crashed. I looked to see what were the Fortune 500 companies doing. I remember getting called the foreclosure queen, and all of a sudden going from selling, 169 homes in a year to 12, and literally nobody knowing who I was. I researched what the Fortune 500 companies were doing. How were they serving their audience? How were they adding value? And they were creating content. They were adding value. They were serving, not selling. So think about, how can you do that with your audience? You can do it by doing what no one else is doing. Video. Video, I know, is scary. You're afraid of what you're going to look like. You're afraid if you're going to say something wrong. You're afraid if people are going to like you. And here's what I'm going to say. If they don't like you, that's great, because here's the deal. I don't remember where I learned this from, but there's people love you, right? Or they like you, or they don't like you, or they hate you, or even worse, they don't know you. So what's worse? That they hate you or they don't know you? It's worse that they don't know you, because research shows the more people see you, the more likely they're going to start to like you, right? It's like that whole repetition factor. I want you to think about using funnels instead of just a website. I want you to think about creating lead magnets and landing pages. I want you to think about doing things differently than what everybody else is doing. How is your listing presentation process, right? Do you have a marketing plan? Do you have a buyer's guide? Do you have a seller's guide? Are those information and stats in there relevant and current, or is it just one that you've gotten, that you paid 5 cents for? All of these types of things are going to help you stand out and be different, right? You want to have an omnipresence. You want people to think real estate, think community, they think about you, and you do that by being different. Don't be marketing on the stupid carts at Safeway. Nobody looks at those, right? Those don't work. You want to be doing things that no one else is doing. I can guarantee you that very few people are creating real estate content, marketing content on a regular basis and being consistent about it. So do that, be different. Also, how are you getting people to position you as an authority? If somebody wants a market analysis, are you just emailing it to them, or are you hand delivering it? Are you doing a Zoom or a Loom video describing what it is? Are you then directing them to a QR code where there's a listing presentation video or a seller seminar funnel or a lot more information that they can look at? Those are the kind of things that we do that helps us dominate, right? And it also positions us as the expert, and we're winning before we arrive. The goal for you is to win before you arrive. How do you make sure that before you go to that buyer appointment or before you go to that seller appointment, they already know you, like you, and trust you? You do that by creating content, by adding value, by doing things differently than everyone else to make an impact. Number 9, set up systems. I want you to have an awesome CRM which by the way is one of your most valuable assets, because you're going to be able to collect people's information. Your job as a marketer is to get people off of other platforms like Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and get them onto your own platform so that you actually own that list, because you don't know what can happen to these different types of platforms. A really good story Russell Brunson talks about is how he used to market on Google, and all of a sudden Google got really popular, and so a word, let's just say realtor on Google used to cost, let's just make it up, $1. Now that word is $50. When you can get people off of other platforms and onto your own, so you can email them on a regular basis and you own that information, that's when you are doing things correctly. So I want you to set up systems in your business, create workflows, create campaigns, create automatic things that happen. Once A happens, then B, C, D, and E happen, right? automatically so you can become more effective, more efficient, more top of mind, add more value. If you do that, you're gonna have more energy as well because all those little things you need to think about are actually off of your mind. When you have good workflows and systems, people think that you're working around the clock, although you're not, right? Because your systems and your workflows are doing the work for you. You plug in the dates and then what happens? Automatic emails go out, automatic text messages go out, automatic videos go out, all because you have a really good CRM and systems and processes in place. Now I know for some of you, the thought of a CRM and setting it kind of like it's scary, right? Like I remember I used to utilize Top Producer and it wasn't my favorite, like by far, it probably was one of the worst transaction management software, sorry Top Producer, that I've ever used. It was so outdated. They didn't do a very good job. So the thought of leaving Top Producer, it was like, oh my gosh, right? Well, we actually now have our own CRM. It's called the Mashore method, and it's like all these different platforms all in one. And it was a beast not only to create, but to get it customized, right? But once I actually got it customized and did the work early on, then all of a sudden my job got much, much easier. So I want you to have really, really good systems in place so that it looks like you're working even when you're not. So you can give exemplary, top of line customer service to your buyers and sellers so you start getting more referrals and so that you stand out and you actually give them the best fulfillment and delivery process available. With your CRM, you're gonna be creating email campaigns and drip sequences, automatic market updates, local market updates, videos, national market update videos, so that they get sent to them on a regular basis with relevant current information. That's gonna help them. Also, make sure you segment your clients in your CRM. For example, if they're sellers or buyers or want a specific neighborhood, curtail that content so it goes directly to people based upon what they're interested in, because they'll be more likely to actually listen and watch, and they'll be more likely to convert. And number 10, lastly, is doing video text messages. Do you know that this one strategy alone, we have tested it, we've proved that on average you will pick up 2 new clients in a month by sending 10 video text messages a day. Who do you send them to? You send them to past clients, friends, family members, old clients. You send them to people at your kids' schools or from different events that you're involved in. What groups are you a part of? Send these people, go through your phone, right? Pick out, start with contact A and then go down to contact Z and just send a video text message. But here's what I want you to do. Do not ask for business. Do not ask for a referral. Just add value, mention something that they've done that's cool. Maybe they've had an anniversary or a birthday, or their kids went to college, or they won a certain award. Maybe they just went to this restaurant that you like, and you're like, hey, did you have the chicken parmesan? Because I love that chicken parmesan there. Or maybe you say, oh my God, make sure you don't eat this because it gave me the runs last time. I don't know. The point is, send 10 video text messages that add value, serve, not sell, do not ask for business, do not ask for referrals. Now you might be thinking, well, Krista, I don't know anybody, right? In the area. Well, do you at least know one person? Can you go on social media and look at who their friends are? Can you look at cool things that have happened to them and say, hey, I'm new to the area and I just noticed that you know John, and John and I are friends. I just wanted to say hi and just let you know that I saw you went to that restaurant last night. It looks super cool. Hopefully one of these days I'll be able to see you and we can actually, maybe have coffee or something like that. There's always a solution if you are resourceful. So those are my 10 strategies that you're gonna be going over. So I hope you liked this video. I hope it was valuable to you. We plan on doing this, 2 to 3 times a week. So feel free to come back to the channel or like it or subscribe if it was add value to you so that you can actually know when we have more content. Our goal is to help you be a better real estate agent and to do things differently so that you can serve, not sell, you can attract, not chase, and you can actually have your life back. Hey there, I have a brand new podcast called Fired Up with Krista Mashore, where I bring my high energy right to your ears. This podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So do me a favor, go subscribe and leave a review. All this information is free and I cannot wait to teach you everything I know. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.